everyone. Welcome to this edition of the Pro Wrestling Show presents the SmackDown Ring Report. Coming up here on the Pro Wrestling Show, we got a lot to get to as we are on the road to Extreme Rules. Coming up, Bayley makes her SmackDown return. The former longest reigning SmackDown Women's Champion takes on Shotzi. Bayley versus Shotzi. This match was bound to happen from last week. We'll get to the latest on that coming up, as well as tag team matches coming up as Ricochet and Madcap Moss team up against the honorary Usos, Sami Zayn, and the enforcer of the bloodline, Sora Sakai, in a tag team match. Plus, as well as more tag team rivalries as Hit Row takes on Los Lothario. Los Lotharios crash the party of Hit Row. Hit Row wants some retribution. Could Hit Row get their retribution? We'll see coming up as well. And also, too, we got some sad news to report that the legendary Japanese promoter and first WWE Uncrowned World Heavyweight Champion, the first Japan World Heavyweight Champion, Antonio Noki, has passed away at the age of 79. We'll get to this and more when the SmackDown Ring Report starts right now. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the SmackDown Ring Report here on the Pro Wrestling Show here on Connect TV. Thank you all for watching. Join in the conversation using the hashtag Pro Wrestling here on Connect. And don't forget to subscribe. Subscribing is king. Tell a friend, call a friend, hit that subscribe button so you won't miss a thing here on the Pro Wrestling Show. We are live in effect. Thank you all for watching once again. This is the SmackDown Ring Report recap show here on the Pro Wrestling Show. We just got done watching SmackDown and reviewing. Like I said, Bayley will take on Shotzi. Bayley, the longest reigning SmackDown Women's Champion, taking on Shotzi one-on-one. We'll get that. Plus two. We said tag team action. Ricochet and Madcap Moss taking on the Usos, Enforcer, Sora Sakai, and the honorary Usos, Sami Zayn, as well as Hit Row and Los Lotharios. Well, we get things started with that tag team match that kicks off SmackDown, and it was the tag team match, Madcap Moss and Ricochet teaming up against Sora Sakai and Sami Zayn. When you see this match, it's kind of like a mismatch in a way, but Ricochet and Sora Sakai, we can show the pictures and stuff. We're trying to show what we can see and stuff. What we saw earlier, we want to show it. All I see is, okay, well, we can tell you this. Ricochet and Sora Sakai fell prey to Sora Sakai and Sami Zayn. I think Sami Zayn kind of liking his new role as enforcer. And Sami Zayn, this was the right here, this what people have been talking about. I acknowledge the honorary Usos. So I guess Sami Zayn getting a following, and he got a following all right. Defeating the likes of Madcap Moss and Ricochet, which they really didn't have a chance tonight. But Sami Zayn being in the I guess being a member of the bloodline and stuff, getting over as well he could. But Ricochet and Madcap Moss was no match against Sami Zayn and Sora Sakai. And you got to wonder when this all going to boil down. We told you last week, Sami Zayn has been on the road as of late. Even Sami Zayn has on the crosshairs of Jey Uso, who told Sami that he sees right through Sami and wants to do everything he can. I think Jey has a vendetta against Sami. We just don't know what the vendetta could be. But Jay's trying to point things out. And Sami said, you take the upper Roman. I think Jay's going to take the upper Roman. He ain't going to take it up right now. But like I said, Sora Sakai with a decisive victory over Madcap Moss with the help of Sami Zayn. get the win, and they got the win earlier that night. So it was good for them. Also, too, if we can show, yeah, we saw Theory. Theory got confronted by Drew McIntyre. Theory and Drew McIntyre having a match tonight. Them two will meet later on in the show, and they'll settle their differences in the ring later on and stuff. But speaking of Sami, Sami got dejected. Sami felt like he got dejected. Kevin Owens trying to lift Sami up. Sami, and Kevin Owens, could this be the start of them taking the tag team championship away from the Usos? That's been the rumor and the report. And sooner rather than later, Sami's going to cost the Bloodline something, and the Bloodline will strike vengeance on Sami. Thus, Sami getting motivated to take his frustrations out on Jay and doing what he needed to do to get to Jay. So I could see that being a possibility. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn reuniting and taking down the Usos to become the tag team champions. That could be a possibility. We could see that down the road. So look for that down the road and stuff. Speaking of that, Monday Night Raw invaded SmackDown in a way. Drew McIntyre getting help from Kevin Owens and Johnny Gargano, thus making it a 6-man tag team match later on in the show. Austin Theory teaming up with American Alpha, his allies, to take on Drew, what's his name? Johnny Gargano and Kevin Owens in that huge 6-man tag team matchup that I've been talking about. We'll see that next week. Speaking of that, we saw that the Intercontinental Championship match will happen next week on SmackDown. Sheamus challenging Gunther for the rematch and that highly anticipated match from Clash of the Castle, that spectacular match. They're going to do it once again, but this time for the season premiere of SmackDown. Sheamus getting beat down by Gunther's cronies of Imperium, and Sheamus getting chopped by the knife edge chops by Gunther. Gunther's signaling a message that he wants to retain the Intercontinental Championship. Gunther and Sheamus will meet next week on SmackDown for the Intercontinental Championship. We thought that was it. Sheamus told Gunther, that's all you got. Sheamus wanted more, and he wanted more. And Gunther gave him more. And Gunther chopping Sheamus down. And Gunther sending a message that he will leave as the Intercontinental Champion. That's going to be a classic. I know next week is going to be a real Donnybrook classic. We know that in 6 weeks, not in 6 weeks, but next week after that Intercontinental Championship match, whoever leaves Intercontinental Champion, they're going to do it again in a 6-man tag team match in a Donnybrook style match. This match right here is going to be like however it's going to be in the Intercontinental Championship match. It's going to fall over to the next day with them 6 men competing for just beating the hell out of each other. That's what it's going to be next week. So we'll see that match coming up. Speaking of that, Hit Row was in action. Hit Row, the team Ashante Adonis and what's his name? Top Dollar. Top Dollar teamed up against Los Lotharios. Los Lotharios crashed the party last week of Hit Row's party. Hit Row didn't forget about that crashing, and Hit Row sent a message. Hit Row taking down Los Lotharios, and Los Lotharios didn't see it coming. Hit Row trying to speak with the masses that's what they want to do. And Hit Row won their match over Los Lotharios. One thing about Hit Row dominating the force and dominating. I could see them probably challenging for the tag team titles, building them up, and we'll see how they'll do as a tag team coming up. So we'll see that. But Hit Row won that match over Los Lotharios. Los Lotharios didn't have a chance one bit. So you know how that be. Speaking of that, Karrion Kross and his wife, Scarlett, were sending a message to Drew McIntyre. We know Karrion Kross will be in that Scream Rules match, but this time in a Scream Rules scrap match. We know we've seen scrap matches before, or even with Dusty Rhodes and a lot of people from ECW. Well, this time in the home of Scream in Philadelphia, Karrion Kross sent a message that he's going to whip and tear apart Drew McIntyre like he should have been done years ago. And Karrion Kross getting this opportunity that he wants, he has a chance. Now, he wants to become WWE World Champion, but the only way to get through, become champion, he says he had to go through Drew McIntyre in order to do that. To me, I believe that that match between him and Drew, that should have been the main event, to be honest. Like, Drew should be, being how he is now. He should be the world champion because of Clash of Council and earn his steps or something. But I feel like they made a crucial mistake. That should be the championship match to me. Karrion Kross versus Drew. Drew's first title defense against Karrion Kross, but unfortunately, that's not going to happen. Well, we move on to that as Ronda Rousey. We'll get to Drew later on the show. Ronda Rousey went against Natalya in an exhibition match. Natalya, she in her hometown Canada. Natalya got tapped out. She tapped out to the ankle lock. But after that, the brawl ensued between Liv Morgan and Ronda Rousey. These two women will meet next week in a Scream Rules match for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Like I said, this is going to get a screen. Liv Morgan wants to prove herself that she is not only a pretty face, but a tough cookie to beat. And Ronda Rousey trying to play these cat and mouse games and wants to get her hands on Liv Morgan. We got to wonder what she'll do to Liv Morgan in the process. So there's a lot going on with that. But like I said, it's a possibility we could see that match. But told you next week. Next week won't be no SmackDown Ring Report. Next week will be the predicted outcome for Extreme Rules for all the matches. We'll get to it and we'll get a little recap of SmackDown and what had went down. Speaking of that, the bunny, who is the right rabbit? We've been telling you about clues and stuff. The clues continue to manifest like these Easter eggs, reveal in what you are. A lot going on here. I mean, it's possible. A lot of people are pointing that it could be Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt could be the one who is revealed as the White Rabbit. Bray Wyatt with these mysterious quotes, and you see right here 1911. So it could be Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt could be the person behind this. There's a lot of these codes and stuff, so it's could be Bray. Bray could be the one when they say reveal in who you are. So we'll see. And I believe Bray Wyatt may return as Screen Rules in some way, fashion, but we don't know who he's gonna target and what's his modus operandi. What is his motivation? What his motives when he comes back? Who he's gonna target? Is he gonna get his hands on Roman for what Roman did and took his belt? Because Roman was the last person. Bray was the last person Roman defeated for the championship for this long reign streak. So Triple H righting the wrongs right now, and I kind of like it. He's righting the wrongs of what Vince used to do. But speaking of that, Chauncey returned in her tank. She took on former SmackDown Women's Champion Bayley, Chauncey, and Bayley battled in a match that many people consider a match that could be happening there in the future. Chauncey and Bayley went one-on-one, and what a match it was. Chauncey and Bayley go one-on-one. Chauncey did some offense at the end, but everyone was talking about the tank. Chauncey brought back the tank,
like she would. She's a good girl once again. So Shansi and Bailey doing damage. Bailey tried to get the upper hand and defeated Shansi, but Raw Women's Champion Bianca Belair returned. See, one thing I don't like about this is they bring in Raw, infusing Raw folks, the Raw talent, into SmackDown. It's like SmackDown can't stand on its own. Now, with SmackDown, we're standing on its own. Hopefully, with this draft coming up, they will try to infuse some of the Raw talent into SmackDown. That's what they're trying to do. But Bianca Belair made a rare appearance on SmackDown. That should have been saved for Monday, but they want to bring Raw business to SmackDown. So it's like the brand extension is no longer working to me. But Bianca Belair returns. She'll go against Bailey for the first time in a ladder match. Two women battling in a ladder match for the first time for the Raw Women's title. We'll see that, but to me, I don't like when the SmackDown when SmackDown comes to Raw, Raw comes to SmackDown. It's kind of like the brand extension is a little bit watered down and stuff. So they need to work on that and try to keep everybody at bay and try to keep it even. But they can't do that and stuff. But speaking of that, is this the end of maximum male models? This could be. You can tell Max Dupree looking deterred and stuff like he doesn't want to be in the group that he started. Well, Max Dupree made a statement, a mission statement, and the pre-models were trying to do a pose down, and Max Dupree decided that he don't want to be in the group no more. They was trying to break a record, and the record got broken. But Max Dupree threw it away and said that he's done, and he said, "Yeah," and you know what that means. Eli Drake or LA Knight is back. So LA Knight is back in the fray. So LA Knight is that. He's back. Well, SmackDown ended with a huge six-man tag team match right here. Max, not, I was about to say Mac, but Drew McIntyre teamed up with Johnny Gargano and Kevin Owens, in the Indies known as the Panda Express, taking on Austin Theory, the Money in the Bank winner, and his team of American Alpha. American Alpha, former Raw Tag Team Champions. But this match was built on nutrition. Do you ask me? This match was made earlier after Drew went against Austin Theory. Austin Theory tried to get the upper hand and tried to get Drew at the end, but Drew and Austin Theory have far more better things to worry about. Um, Drew and his team of Johnny Gargano and Kevin Owens won, but Drew sent the message that to Karrion Kross that he's coming for him and he's coming for him in that scrap match. This match is going to be real bloody good, and we're going to see that match next week. Hopefully, we'll get to the latest on the Pro Wrestling Show next week for the predicted outcome for Extreme Rules in that match. So, Drew McIntyre sent a message that he wants Karrion Kross, and he'll get Karrion Kross next week. We'll see that match coming up. All right. That ends the SmackDown ring report. We're going to move forward to Wrestling Hot Topics. On Wrestling Hot Topics, we got some sad news to report. Some sad news that pro wrestling legend Antonio Noki has passed away at the age of 79. Antonio Noki, famous for founding New Japan Pro Wrestling. He was in some bouts against Muhammad Ali and the greatest, one of the greatest of all time. Antonio Noki etched his mark in wrestling history and was a politician in Japan. Antonio Noki passed away at the age of 79 years old. You see right him with him and Muhammad Ali, the greatest of all time, the greatest boxer of all time, Muhammad Ali. And then Antonio Noki is one of the Japanese greatest, people who wrestled and stuff. So, like I said, there's a lot going on with that. We send our condolences to the family and friends of Antonio Noki on his passing and stuff. So hey, speaking of that, Whoosh.
Whoosh is all elite. Whoosh has signed with All Elite Wrestling. I think Tony Khan just trying to cap off on that and get anybody that's Mexican to join. So you know how that be and stuff. Anybody that's Mexican join AEW and help AEW out. So you know how that go. So we see that. Also, to let's see what else happened. Um, Soraya, better known as Paige, made a comment about her comment about WWE and what she said in her promo. She's still trying to work on that, so you know how that be with Paige and Soraya. We'll see if she's gonna wrestle, but that's the only thing we've been told for right now. Also, too, this was going on in WWE right now. Finn Balor lined up for a significant push down the road. They said they don't know what the plans are, but he's a strong favorite of a new leadership group. Expect Finn to play a big role in the foreseeable future. On the Judgment Day, what's going on, we don't know yet. Finn Balor has been portraying a significant role, so good for Finn. He deserves this moment, and hopefully he get the moment he had when he was under. He should have been got under Vince McMahon, but under that, we see hope he get more push with with Triple H. We talked about Soraya, WWE and stuff. So even Sami Zayn with two goats. With that, him being a goat and then the goat himself. So a lot going on with that. Plus to The Rock, we create his iconic photo. And he did the fanny pack thing. I don't know what The Rock trying to do. He's supposed to star in Black Adam coming up soon. So The Rock back in tow. So good for the people's champion. And I guess John Moxley showcasing his hardware with the gold he won. So Moxley doing the thing well. So how that be? All right, that's gonna end. And we heard one more thing. Cody Rhodes was scheduled to come back to AEW. Warner Bros. Discovery wanted to be in talks with Cody, but Cody decided he wanted to go to WWE. He'll be back to AEW. He just you know what Cody's doing. So Cody's trying to figure out what he wants to do and the way he wants to leave. And he wants to win that WWE title, and then he'll come back to AEW and win the AEW title. We know what Cody. He's trying to prolong stuff. We know how Cody rolls. So, know how that be. All right. Like we said, we talked about what could be. We talked about the recent passing of Antonio Noki. God bless his soul. Whatever, however he sees fit. Also, we talked about Bray Wyatt, the return of Bray Wyatt, the possibility of him returning at Extreme Rules. We'll see that if that comes to fruition. And we talked about Drew McIntyre probably getting revenge over Karrion Kross. If that's a possibility, we talked about a lot tonight. So we're going to end it with Drew McIntyre pointing his finger with the scrap. That he wants Drew McIntyre. He wants Karrion Kross in one way, worst way, shape. Thank you all for watching the Pro Wrestling Show. We'll see you next week for the Raw Ring Report and dust out all the ring reports. Thank you all for watching. See you later.